Hi everyone, hi. I just want to make this quickly the introduction part because I've already recorded their predictions. So welcome to Synastry Expert. My name is Mita, and do subscribe to stay informed of the new stuff that I release. I do get into deep stuff here. I don't usually hold back, but I also deliver in a way that could be okay and positive for you. But in terms of information, I'm very technical, very data based, so most of the time I am talking from the data point of view. And do book your reading on my website. And of course, pertaining to predictions, I specialize in that. Whatever question you want to know about your life, when it comes to predictions, I give you that. And when it comes to synastry, which I specialize in, is my speciality. All the options are available, whether you are single, married, looking for marriage, wanting to divorce, because I also specialize in the separation part, mediation part. When it comes to mediation and separation and divorce, I also do add a bit of my background from because I'm a lawyer. When it comes to life outside of astrology, so I also add that part. But this is my astrology channel, and I help you because I study the stars literally every day. I make predictions based on where the stars are, what they say. And for more about my work and what I've done and all the predictions that have come true, you can check out my shorts or my post. And the time right now is actually 7:30. That is 7:30 in the morning. And the date, of course, it is the 30th of November 2025. So let's start with the Aries sign. So when it comes to the Gemini ascendant, so number one, on the first until the second, we will be having the moon on your 10th house. This is your Pisces sign, where you are having your Saturn, Neptune, Chiron in there. And with the moon in this 10th house, there is a high chance of either your work or profession or the deeds that you do in your society coming into a public scrutiny at this time. So there would be two ways of receiving what you've done. Some will critique and some will appreciate, because this is the Pisces sign. And most of the time when it comes to the moon and the Gemini ascendant, there is always a fluctuating, unrealistic outcome when it comes to the moon in the 10th house. So there would be that experience. And because of Saturn being here as well, highly possible that some of your work that you have been displaying are now withdrawn, or their impact is decreased instead of shining as bright as it should. So also I do see that when it comes to the 2nd until the 4th, when the moon has moved into your 11th house of Aries, here it will be opposite Mercury, which is the lord of your ascendant. Now, lots of topics relating to your children and your romantic life and your creativity, even maybe your fans, your fan base would also be highlighted at this time, because what is actually happening is an agitation in this regard, whereby whatever you're trying to do, it's like somebody is coming to pour water over it. Even with the children, whatever they're doing, there's something that is making your schedule out of out of the plans. Something is trying to disrupt what you're trying to do. Now, what I would like you to be aware of is that when the moon is moving into your 12th house between the 4th and the 6th, at this time it will be in a Taurus sign, exalted in your 12th house, and it will also be conjunct with Uranus here. Now, at this time you will be able to handle lots of hidden information, or you'll be exposed to hidden information at this time. So there will be some things that are revealed to you even when you sleep. These things could come through in terms of visions, because there's also the sun in your 6th house shining light into whatever is being hidden from you. And it is also showing here that you may be seduced or led astray on these days. So be careful about the 4th and the 6th, because here what is at stake is your reputation. These are the days whereby your reputation could be entangled with a scandal here. Now, it is also quite important that you be careful when you are engaging in bedroom activities, because you would have high chances of contracting some venereal diseases at this time. So be careful about intimacy. If you are having one night stands, make sure that you are wearing protection, you are protected. And if you are feeling that you should be getting tested, have your blood tests done, your liquids done, checked, your just your body being checked. It would be a good time now, because that sun in your 6th house is also requiring you and urging you to actually have your medical checkups now. And with the Venus having joined the Scorpio 6th house, definitely everything relating to sexuality, intimacy, your body, your private, all of that area is now demanding that you take care and make sure that you are healthy. It is also important that you understand, or you try to decipher or put a lot of understanding in what people are saying to you, because what people are saying to you may be coming in as a form of smooth talking, and it's gonna be like so fast that you don't have enough time to think about it. But it is important that you take time to think about it and hear them, like literally hear them, what they're saying, but also be careful about your own speech, because you may also have a tongue that is scathing to other people at this time. So be careful about that. However, you are intellectually heightened right now, but all in terms of secret. Anything that is secretive, information that other people can't get their hands on easily, you have the access to it right now. You have all that knowledge. If you are into astrology and you are looking for secrets, secret methods, secretive things, you are entitled to have it now, and it will be given all of it to you. If you are in other forms of occults. You can also now be introduced to higher levels of knowledge into advancing your occults. But obviously also it also deals with work related things. Maybe in your company you've been investigating something. Right now you also have a chance to get into the depth of what you've been looking after. Now, there will be a transformational crisis that you should be expecting between the 4th and the 6th. So what happens here is that you need your resilience. You will need to be resilient, and of course intense intuition because of the moon being in the 12th house here. Intense intuition about your family, things that are happening to your family, things that are being said about your family or to your family, or vice versa, maybe them to you. You get to know it now. Your ancestors are also tapping in right now. They're talking to you directly, so do be open about receiving those things. You're also heightened to be a healer, because there are portals of healing both from the 6th house and the 12th house are opened now. But be careful of corruption or being involved in corruption at this time, like this week. Just be careful about that, because as I said earlier on, being enticed into things can lead into a downfall, into a power crumbling result. So just be careful about that part. Now, what I also do see is that from the 6th, then the moon will be moving into Gemini, which is your ascendant right now. More attention is being given to you, but particularly in everything that you say. So be careful about that, because most of the time you may say things that some people don't understand, or they get to misunderstand, but later on realize what you were saying. So try to count your words, literally count your words. Be an accountant of your words at this time. So what I also do see that if you are working in like a dangerous environment, to take care, definitely to take care of that, because I do know that some of my clients, actually most of my clients, they are in their medical field or in their chemical related fields. So do take care. If you are mixing, if you're at the lab, make sure that you note and record all your poisons down. Everything is not mixed up, and that would be okay for the Gemini ascendant. So I also wanted to note that because now Mercury has stopped going retrograde, it's now going forward again in that Libra sign. It is important that you maximize these last degrees of Mercury in that 5th house part, particularly for the creatives, for those who are creative, who want to push their projects creatively. You are empowered to redo stuff, or whatever you've already done already, to place it now in the bigger platforms, because it is highly receptive now, because the Libra sign and Mercury, they go very, very well together. So do take advantage of that. I also do see that you may need to use some of the advices that your father has given you, but it is highly possible that your father is away from you, or there is some distance between you and your father. But whatever you've been taught from him, or he's taught you, make sure you kind of like use those things in your life this week, because they will come in handy to you. I also do see that in order to, there could be a need for you to call your mother or a motherly figure that would give you advice, or you are seeking advice pertaining to your children. And if it's pertaining to your fans, but you still need somebody authoritative to talk to, I do see that need here happening. It is also showing here that when it comes to your spouse and your relationship, there could be also a something that is reminding you, or a need to link the kids, your spouse, and your dad's counsel, or maybe some other authoritative figure in your life. So I do see all of that happening for you. When it comes to the Cancer ascendant, so there's a lot of movement that are expected. Like a lot of stuff is going to be happening for you guys from the 1st until the 6th of December 2025. Now, what is critical to remember is that you are having the Ketu in your 2nd house of speech, and also the Rahu in your 8th house here. And Saturn is still in your 9th house, stabilizing, and you're having your the retrograde Neptune in your 9th house. Chiron has just entered as well in a retrograde motion in your 9th house. So the Venus planet has just entered your 5th house of children, learning, entertainment, having fun, and followers for those who are in the teaching sphere, from the social media, from bigger platforms. You're also having Sun, Mars, and Lilith there in that Scorpio sign. The Mercury is still in your 4th house, and Uranus in your 11th house. Now you would be having the Jupiter going out of your sign pretty soon. However, it is still here, and it is settling things out for you, in favor obviously for you. Now the Pluto is in the 7th house, opposite that Jupiter, so there has been some transformational things happening in your relationship. And either if you were single, maybe you're getting into relationships. If you have been in long-term relationships, marriage, maybe you've been spicing things up, going out on dates, which would be expected to increase in any case now with the Venus in the 5th house. So there is some romance that is expected to come back into your life. However, with the Mars there, things still there are arguments or things that need to be sorted out, that need to be placed in like on the table, particularly on the 4th until the 6th at this time, because Moon will be in the Taurus sign, requiring some communication to be done, and it's going to be receiving the support from Venus and as well the Sun planet in that 4th house. So these days, 4th until the 6th, become critical for having these things done and said. Now, what here becomes interesting is that on the so let's see, between the 1st and the 4th, between the 1st and the 4th, no, actually between the 2nd and the 4th, I do see that you need to arrange some things between yourself and your workplace, or how you appear to people. So there are things that you need to put into place, particularly with the Jupiter preparing to go back to your 12th house now. So mostly it's about work, mostly it's about responsibilities, mostly it's about your status and the things that you're doing for your community. These need to be taken care of between the 2nd and the 4th. I also do see though that particularly on these days between the 2nd and the 4th, there will be a whole lot of challenges, so to speak, and they could be coming from your workplace, or they could be coming through the community itself, whereby you need, or you are required to be serious for something, on how you appear, but there's some seriousness that is required from you here. Be careful of self-sacrificing yourself at this time, because it could be strenuous. I do see this. And there is definitely a responsibility that requires you to sacrifice yourself, but just don't overdo it. Still take care of yourself. I also do see that there is a tendency here to be, sometimes it's not like you are burdened by the responsibilities, but you are choosing them yourself. So maybe because you have high status goals that you want to achieve, so you take on more and more and more because of what you want to achieve later on, which in that case is fine, but as long as you get your rest, if that should be the case. Now, when it comes to the 6th, from the 6th, moon is going to be in your 12th house, and at this time, this is the time when it comes to Cancer, they should be able to get a lot of messages through sleep, through dreams, or even through foreign people who are far away from lands. They have information that is beneficial for you, and even if it's coming in a scathing way, or in a critical way, or in a very scientific way, but this is an information that is very critical for you. Now, do you mind that the information could also come to you as poison? Literally could be information that is hurting you when you hear it from the first time, but as the time goes, that poison becomes healing. So you just open up your ears, your mind, and see what you receive from the 6th until the 8th. So because that information would be hurtful at the beginning, but in the long term, it is actually coming to give you the information that you need to move forward and to help you. So take it with ease. Just going back to that 4th, between the 4th and the 6th. And now, if you are working in a bigger organization at this time, you're going to be very busy, and lots of activities that are taking your mind from this place to that place, this place to that corner, from this corner to that activity. Very, very busy mind here, and you may feel like your mind is exploding at this time. Different different objects as well. Mind that you could also gain some money that could be coming into, like, with a big bang type of money, or maybe you're required to invest some money at this time that would be are placed towards achieving your dreams and your goals. So do you mind that? And of course, your attention could also be thinking about your kids and what to do for your children at this time. You would be getting lots of great ideas, very innovative ideas at this time. So do utilize that to make sure that you make your children's lives easy and best, because whatever whatever ideas you get now, they actually are preparing for their future, even if they don't make sense today, but like between these days, the 4th and the 6th, but they actually would be very beneficial in the future. So that is the message for the 4th and the 6th. Again, I just wanted to go back to that. Now from the 6th until the 8th, be also mindful that you would be gaining a whole lot of stability from what you do physically in your physical body. So whatever you're thinking, you're planning with your head, in your subconscious, you must place it into action, because this is actually what will give you the best of the best results. So don't just receive the messages and say, oh wow, that was great, oh wow, that what a vision. No, wake up and say, I need to place this into action right now. And going back to again the 4th and the 6th, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of information to receive for this time. Going back to that day, your organization, your friends, because this is your 11th house, they are also able now to support you into fulfilling your dreams. So do take advantage of this. Or maybe your colleagues, like in your big organizations, these would be able to, like, who are your friends at the same time. We have friends at work. These are the people who would also enable you to achieving your dreams. So do take advantage of that. Thank you. So now when it comes to the Leo ascendants, so what is happening is that between the 1st and the 3rd, there would be quite a push. It's a push period basically for you. I do see that you would be able to get some honor of some sort, so maybe celebrated in a way, or maybe you feel like you've won something. This is on the cards between the 1st and the 3rd of this week, December. Now you are feeling very brave between these 3 days, the 1st and the 3rd. There is this this bravery, this warrior about you these times, and I do see that you need to be careful because you're feeling so brave. You could also jump into serious activities or situations whereby you deal with a battle, like conflicts, right? You are feeling ambitious, so your ambitions are pushed by passion at this time, which is beautiful and great. And there is a high possibility of also winning in terms of materially, like something materialistic could be introduced to you, or that would change your situation in terms of materials, and that's possible. I see a lot of charisma, a whole lot of charisma. It is actually attracting a lot of people between the 1st and the 3rd. Like there's something about you that is showing that everybody can't deny. They're all, of course, always dramatic. That is also visible here. I do see also, by the way, that there could be an opportunity that suddenly arrives for you. So do accept it when it comes as well. So what I also do see is that with that feeling of achieving something, it could also be in terms of advancement, maybe in your job, in your life, in your projects. So you are very bold, very strategic right now, action orientated. People are recognizing you, they seeing what you're doing, they seeing what you've been about right now. So that is quite great. I also do see though that you need to be careful of some conflicts that could be coming out of envy, out of jealousy, and some people finding you too prideful or too brave. There's something that is coming through that, or it could be a loss through aggression. Maybe you get angry about something, maybe there's a conflict and you get angry, and because of that, there are, some things change a bit. So just be careful about that. And of course, don't think too much, don't think too great, or like don't bother yourself about things, because then that could affect your heart. A heartbreak, a heartache, a heart something. But I do see, as I said, some good news mostly. And of course, when we talk about Leo the lion, there's high chance of being hot-tempered, so just hold your anger, tame it, right, so that we don't get some trouble coming because of your own actions. So I do see a possibility of you creating your own problems, maybe through how you behave. So decisions should be taken, but you'll be bold and bright and chosen for this. Now I do see that, I was just looking at the moon from the first and the second will be transiting your second house, your 8th house, where there is a Pisces sign and certain Neptune current together. So definitely here, things that are dealing with within your marriage life, intimate areas, your secrets, they do get need to be nourished, or they start to be upsetting to the point that they cannot be denied or rejected anymore. For you, it does indicate again opportunities of sudden income when it comes to your 8th house. So moving on to the 2nd until the 4th, and now here what I do see, the moon would have moved into your 9th house of Aries at this time. So I do see some indecision coming through right now, so whereby now you are placed in a point whereby you need to take a decision but you're unable to take a decision. So there's a blockage, you feel like you want to withdraw right now, or you need to be cold in your analysis or towards your analyzing and analysis and how you analyze things, take decisions. So cold calculation is required right now. And I also do see that you could also be in a way whereby you have to make a decision, but mostly you should be able to take that decision accurately as well. If you are taking things slowly, which you ought to be doing right now in any case, I do see some success in your projects, particularly whereby detail is required here. You get even stronger. Now, if you have a problematic Mercury or Venus in your natal chart, here there could be some loneliness happening, or maybe you feel isolated, or because of your work you have to isolate yourself or be unavailable, particularly emotionally, to the people that you love. You would also be wanting to hide your plans right now. As I said, that withdrawal is going to be happening here. So you would want to be, withdrawing right now, hiding what you're doing, not revealing it, not wanting people to know what you are up to. It is showing now. I also do see that when it comes to the 4th until the 6th, this is when the moon is going into your 10th house, and here basically whatever you've been doing is going to be placed on the table. People are going to know now, or you're going to introduce your plans at this point. But I do see some sort of paranoia and a need for revenge somehow. So either you want to place that revenge, or it is placed upon you. By the way, be careful also, because I also do see it between the 1st and the 3rd, something like this. So there's somebody who's holding a grudge. It's either you holding the grudge of over somebody, or somebody is having a grudge on you. But I can see that betrayal happening or coming up to shore between the 4th and the 6th again. So I need for punishment, either you punishing, or that person is being punished by you in a way, maybe just withdrawing, don't want to talk to people, whatever. And so basically it's kind of like a day or 2 days of consequences of what's been happening. So you do need to endure definitely for this. And of course you are strong in terms of having moral backbone, and your ability to detect danger very, very early, it is your strongest point, and you do need to rely on this one. Keep on, be persistent, be resilient under any pressure, and you will obviously come out of it. Now, just going back to the 1st until the 2nd, as I said, opportunities are coming here, and there's also people who are seeing you as the one who is ready to take up their position. So do shine, even at your workplace. If you have been feeling unsure, which most of you never arrives, you're always feeling sure. You're the Leo. So people are noticing you, noticing your work, they're noticing your stride, every stride. Now just be careful that between that 1st and the 2nd, you're not too inflexible. People you wanted to do things alone, so just make sure you are available to share in the burden with other people, because taking more could cause some strain as well. So obviously you're going to go slowly and methodically, like the Leos do, and that is the very strategic thing to do. You are heightened in the strategic mind between the 4th and the 6th, and there is possibility whereby people are fearing you for some reason, maybe too much respect. They respect your craft because now it's placed in the 10th house on the stage whereby they can see. So there's some respect or fear rather than that will be given towards your name or towards your projects or towards your standing in the society. So I do see that. And also just going to this whole week, like from the 1st until the 6th, I do see some softness, with you. There will be an element of being soft. People see you as very skillful. They see you, if you're in the art, they see the art coming out. Definitely they find you charming. But the thing is that right now, this week, you are not necessarily aware of it, or you're not trying too hard. Like it's like you don't care, you're just focusing on the aspects that you're focusing on your projects. But then in that you're not caring too much to appear the way in the grandiose way. People still find you highly soft and refined. They see the charm, they see everything about you is just oozing. They see the femininity, but be careful, there could be some more women that are causing troubles, or you get some obstacles through women at this time. So that is showing this week. So but very pleasing manners in general. And you could also assist other people maybe in solving their own issues, their own problems. I do see that throughout the week. So just be mindful of being anxious and those problems with women. So when the moon moves into your 11th house from the 6th until the 8th, I do see that now there could be some reassurance, or maybe a need to balance out your profits, your revenues, to check if whatever you putting in is actually giving you the revenue that is going with your work. So there could be that analysis that needs to happen now, or a conversation that needs to be placed about this subject for sure. Now, when it comes to the Virgo ascendants, what is going to be happening from the 1st until the 2nd? We are having the moon in your 7th house of spouse, partnerships, relationships, right? Conjunct with that certain Neptune Chiron here. Definitely you need, or your partner needs, some attention right now, or you need to tender to the relationship, so that you also feel fed here. I do see that your partner could be feeling a bit of moody, some mood swings here, or whereby they are having demands in terms of direction and commitment. So they are having a need that needs to be satisfied, and they are also able to give that to you, but there is a hiccup that needs to be corrected here, because the moon is going to be with certain. But the thing is, there won't be too much clarity here of what exactly needs to be done, which is going to be revealed when the moon moves out of the sign and goes into that Taurus sign between the 4th and the 6th. So you would have to wait until that time if maybe there's something that comes up right now. But what I do see, it's going to concern some problems. It's going to be about maybe work, health, daily life. So definitely something regarding that. And it could also about advancement in profession. So maybe they want you to give attention to that, or you the one who's making that request. But something must be talked about, and is eating up the marriage, is bothering the relationship. So there is that stagnation here. So I also do see that when it comes to the 2nd until the 4th, when the moon moves into your 8th house here, this is whereby things could get heated up, literally, in terms of emotional outbursts. So do mind that, because I do see some agitation that could be coming out in terms of it could be spoken, like hard spoken words, whereby you're trying to sort things out, but if there is an emotional hit, that can't be denied, because Aries is very emotional, and it's like a volcano in the 8th house, whereby things just burst out. So definitely transformational crisis is experienced right now directly, and you need to deal with that. High chances here of being able to get the results regardless of how the emotions are going. You are highly enabled to get the results now, to resolve the issues now. So the 2nd and the 4th give you that opportunity to sit down and take everything out in conversation, in communication, talk about it. I do see that whatever problem you're having, it could also link your mother, or your mother could be the person to go to resolve the issue. She could be the link that is highly critical right now, because whatever advice that she has, it is worth listening to at this time. And if the problem is about her, or it is due to her, then that is the part that needs to be discussed the most. I do see, similarly to the Gemini ascendant, when it comes to your health, in terms of intimacy, the bedroom health, your private parts, your area that you use in your bedroom, make sure you don't get any diseases. You are taking care of yourself, drinking lots of water, purifying your body in those areas, and doing what you need to do to make sure you are free of that. Because I do see that between the 4th and the 6th, some sort of intervention could be required. Maybe you get an advice, you ask somebody, and they say something to resolve those issues, right? So what I also do see is you are able to actually take care of the business, literally, business figuratively, or practically, like in real life, right? Because your strategy is basically in what you say. So your winning formula is in what you say, because Mercury is in your second house of speech, and it is representing who you are. So representing yourself verbally in any problems gets you out of that situation. You are able to handle it. Forensic thinking, particularly between the second and the fourth, because your moon is going to be in your 8th house, so you're able to dig deep down in things and find out about the truth and what's been happening. And when the moon moves on into the, as I said, between the 4th and the 6th, is going to be in your 9th house. Right now, some lessons, if you want, you could take those short courses, something like that, to take yourself up in terms of skill. Very good between the 4th and the 6th. Maybe even online, you just take a quick short course, or you listen to a YouTube video that is highly critical for your skills, for your work, because right now it's actually gonna give you ideas on how to advance for your family and gathering money and what to do, stability basically. So this is given for you. And the moon, it will move on from the 6th until the 8th. It's gonna be on the 10th house of profession, public status, what we do in the public and the community, what we known about, things that we do here. So what I do see, there could be something that you either need to communicate in terms of advancing your career, but be aware there could be misunderstandings. However, I do see that it could also be with your boss at this time, or another authoritative figure. So be mindful of what you say, and if you have to get a third party into making sure that this authority figure hear you, to take somebody who is known as a wise person, or a teacher, a counselor, or do ask or do contact somebody who is like an astrologer, a teacher, mentor, and then they will give you advices on how to approach this authoritative figure, so that whatever is discussed, it goes for you instead of against you, right? So I do see that throughout the week for the Virgo sign, whatever you're doing, it is literally depending on your speech, your face, how you appear to other people. Are you smiling? Are you looking angry? Are you looking approachable? Everything depends literally on that face, your mouth. It makes you win or it makes you lose. But most of the time, because it is in Libra, you are ought to win. So do use diplomacy, do smile, do appear easy, as it should be the case because of that Mercury on your face right now. So utilize that, because the Mercury will get out again from your Libra sign into the 3rd house very soon. So for the Virgo, thank you. So this is for the Libra ascendants, and for the Libra ascendants, a lot of stuff is expected, a lot of movements are expected within this week, and it's not been a tough period, but there are solutions obviously. Now when it comes to the Libra ascendants, Let me start first with your points of solutions and your points of ease, right? You need to rely mostly on your family, because your family becomes your people of comfort right now. So do give some attention towards that part. You could also get some irritation from the same members of the family because of that Mars and Sunday. So there could be some disagreements coming through, or some struggles in relating particularly to the male figures within the family. Now I do see that you yourself and your friends become your backbone during this time, and you and your friends are actually mostly together, or you're relying on them for this period, and which is wonderful thing, because your friends, your best friends, become not only friends at this time, but people like advisors, people who solve your problems, who really come through with solutions that are practical, critical, and tangible, like solutions that can be applied to real life. So do appreciate that and hold that closely to you. I do see some sort of irritation from some authorities from your workplace or your society right now. That is highly possible, because maybe they don't appreciate what you've been doing, or they like to criticize what you're doing. So I see that. You also have some strength, in your partner, but then it's not really directly to your partner, it's their in-laws. So something must be talked about, or something must be sorted with in-laws, but your partner must be with you at this time. If you're approaching anyone in the in-law family, particularly when it comes to solving issues, do have your partner. Don't go directly to your in-laws by yourself. Do take your partner with you and say, okay, I want to talk about this, sort this out. Particularly also when it comes to your shared resources with your partner, don't be the head spear right now. Involve your partner in those decisions. So this is quite feasible here, because I do see that there could also be some irritation when it comes to the spouse. Maybe that's why you need to talk to your in-laws, or something like that, right? So there could be some hiccup happening, particularly between the 2nd and the 4th. I do see though that between the 1st and the 2nd, you have some great courage right now. So there could be some oomph to go right ahead and fix things right away. You have that service attitude of wanting to get your affairs done, everything done, your bills done, your bills paid. You're just looking after stuff, you're being very practical right now. And of course, you are looking youthful this week, very appealing, very lively, playful as well. People are attracted to you. You can be a bit flirtatious right now this week, which is also quite nice, particularly for your spouse, or if you are trying to attract other people at this time. Now be mindful that if you are single and you're meeting somebody, you could be making a bad decision at this time of the partner that you choose, and then later on realize that that was not the partner, because mostly the focus is on you, to the point that you may not see your partner or the partner that you meet for who they are at this time. Now your skill in placing things into practicality is high right now, because of the Saturn in your 6th house of practical matters, or your daily life. So do utilize that as well. I do see that there's some suffering that you're experiencing, and you are suffering in silence. So I don't know what it is, but it would be revealed, at least to your family, or it should have been revealed already to your family. I do see that. If it's not already, but within the coming few days it will be revealed, or next week, or to this week or next week it would be revealed. There's something you've been suffering about in silence, and it's actually bothering. I see this in your chart, but regardless of that, you are able to survive it, and you've been able to survive it. Now, do mind, that there could be some errors that are, or consequences that, could be irritating, particularly whereby you have made an error by being angry too soon, or being angered too soon, or being obsessed. Even obsession right now could lead to some errors that you could regret, later on in life. So similarly, because your Venus is in your second house, be mindful of some diseases, that are contagious, because it's facing your 8th house, and you also have the Chiron in your moon in your 6th house between the 1st and the 2nd. So at these days here, be mindful of being either you being contagious, or being around people who are contagious at this time. So there's also could be, particularly if you are in areas whereby there's high crime, be also aware of the 1st and the 2nd, because these could be very critical for you, whereby people are plotting against you, maybe for wanting to steal your money, steal your bag, something like that. So just be mindful and be careful of during the 1st and the 2nd. So also, when it comes to indulgence, my gosh, with Venus in your 2nd house and Mars in your 2nd house, spending is throughout the roof. Enjoyment is throughout the roof. So do count your money, just have the luxury, but also make sure that tomorrow you can have it again. Now, I do see that when it comes to the whole week, in terms of the whole week, actually, there could be some changes, or changes in your shed life, or maybe in the relation with the in-laws, that comes up. But you're going to be bold, as I said, to talk to them when it comes to that, or to solve the shed life itself. So just be mindful there are no bridges that are burnt during this week. So now what I do see when it comes to the other days, because the moon will move on from the 8th house, from the 6th house into your 7th house between the 2nd and the 4th, being directly conjunct with your spouse, with your 7th house, your relationships, your union, everything regarding to that. And it is going to require you to have a heart-to-heart talk, because moon in the 7th house is also including the public and things that are relating to contracts, negotiations, emotional talks, because it's also opposite the Mercury. You're going to be level-headed, whereas your spouse may be spiraling, and you may find it quite difficult to contain them, or to contain yourself around them. So just be mindful of that part. I also do see that between the 2nd and the 3rd, there could be a need to be cautious again, and it could be relating to your relationship, or the spouse itself, or a new person if you are looking. So be mindful. Again, I must remind you, even for the 2nd and 3rd, be mindful of new people that you meet, because I don't see some good acquaintances around you at this time. So if you are meeting with somebody new on a dating app, make sure you look, for their background, what they're doing, what are they up to, because there is a high chance now of being scammed by people or catfished, all of those things, some injury coming to your way. So you don't need to place yourself in such situations. So be mindful of that, because also if you meet somebody who's got a damaged reputation that they're hiding, they're not clear about, you're not clear about them, you could later strain your own reputation. That is showing here. So again, be mindful of being scammed, to fraud and all of those things, sudden dangers, because the public life also, where the moon is there's everybody literally in the public, so you don't know who's who and what are they up to. But because Libras are naturally intelligent ascendants, you will be able to make the right decisions and be able to survive any threat that is placed against you. Particularly the 3rd and the 4th, I do see that your intelligence is up and up regarding hidden forces and the people that they could be wanting to do harm to you, because the moon is going to be moving to the 8th house. So here your intelligence is sharp, your awareness is awake, you are literally picking up on everybody who's trying to do something bad against you, something to go against you. You see it, you feel it, you just are aware. So very good, nice here. Now I also do see that between the 2nd and the 3rd, there could be an ability here to lead a conflict or a crisis situation and win here. So with your Mercury on your ascendant, whatever, even if at a workplace, maybe they're looking for somebody who can simmer down a conflict, you become that person here. So very good for that. And when it comes to the 3rd and the 4th, again, going back to that, to those dates, there could be some sudden distress right now. Okay, so with this sudden distress that's coming up, you just need to be disciplined. Okay, just be disciplined as you normally are, and just be careful. Like literally the problem is there, but if you don't have time to sort it out, just hold it. Make sure you have a plan to make sure it stands still, it doesn't spill until you sort yourself out, or you place yourself in the right moment whereby you can deal with the situation. However, you are able to turn lemons into lemonades. You are also able to talk to people, get into their psyche right now, and particularly when it comes to your in-laws, you could also be able to talk to them at this moment, right, and get literally into their psyche. So I do see that between the 4th and the 5th here, your abilities, they are highly heightened. You are able to showcase what you're made of, showcase what your mama made you to have, like your performance wise, skills wise, everything is nice here. You are able to show it, but you could be wanting to do a lot of stuff very quickly, like changing from one job, one activity into another so quickly. So just guard your energy here, and because of your skills, there could be people who want to depend on you now. They can't make decisions, they want you to make decisions for them. Just make sure that in helping them, you don't take from an empty cup, and otherwise you are able to bring harmony, keep harmony, and join people together, be the link here. I see that. So When it comes to you need to rely on your family, as I said, and of course there could be some hiccups here and there, but your family structure becomes your go-to people for making sure that you don't fall down, that you don't feel empty, that you don't feel like you are falling apart, because helping other people also makes you want to also be helped. So don't hold back on this. Allow yourself to be helped and healed as well. All the best. On that note, I'll chat to you soon. Thank you. Ciao.